What if I told you that Israel may not be in the Middle East? Hear me out. I'm not making any bold claims, but I have been connecting some dots. If you overlay the map of Israel on the map of the USA, Utah's geography lines up in some really uncanny ways. The Great Salt Lake, which is super salty and landlocked, is fed by the Jordan River and flows directly from Utah Lake. That is a uncannily identical mirror of the Dead Sea, the Jordan River, and the Sea of Galilee. Even the names of cities, national parks, towns, and streets are wild. There's Moab, Zion, Mount Moriah, Calvary, Jordan, West Jordan, Delta, Goshen, also the state of Utah in general, Lake Ruth, Daniel, Joseph, Heber, Salem, Jerusalem. The geography of Utah and the biblical description of Israel is a lot more aligned with Utah than it is Israel. You can take the Nile River in the Bible. It's said that the Nile River has 7 branches. That is the Mississippi River. It's also said that Jesus lived in the fertile land, which means somewhere with rich soil that's able to produce a lot of harvest. That is south of Utah Valley, the Salem Spanish Fork area. In the Middle East, it's dried out and barren. What really made me lean into this theory the most is Heber. Think about it, Heber, Hebrew. It's said in the Bible that Joseph, son of Jacob, and Rachel had to go over the mountains, the Wasatch Mountains, to check on his brothers, and that's where they sold him to slavery out of jealousy. But it's said in the Bible that they contemplated either selling him to slavery or throwing him into hot pots, natural hot pots in the earth to kill him. There is actually hot pots in the Heber Midway area that are still there and thousands of years old. Mormons themselves have pointed out all these crazy parallels between all these places in Utah and all these places in Israel. They say they just nicknamed certain places after biblical spots because they looked so similar. But what if it's actually not so innocent? What if it was just revelation of the method, which is a tactic that certain groups that control the world, that control what we're taught, use, where they tell you the truth straight to your face, hoping that you'll laugh it off as a joke or a coincidence, so that the records show that they technically didn't lie. They told you, you just didn't take them seriously. Those groups that run this world love that tactic. When you think about another major part of the end times, the abomination of desolation, where the AC enters the third temple and proclaims himself to be God, I personally believe that it's not going to be a physical, real temple. I believe that we are the third temple, as it's stated in the Bible. And the AC that enters us is going to be the CHIP. But another plausible angle is that the third temple could be the temple that's under renovation and is said to be completed in 2026, which is the Salt Lake City temple. That temple has been under renovation since 2019. To me, that's a suspiciously long time, given all the money and the construction expertise that Utah has. They said after the Salt Lake City temple is completed, there is then going to be an open house from April 2026 until October 2026. That fall timing aligns uncannily with a lot of prophetic talk. There was a lot of talk of something happening this Easter, April 5th, which many say was a collective increase in knowledge or enlightenment. Also, in Salt Lake, there is a place where during Christmas they reenact the birth of Jesus Christ. If this is Israel, would that be another disclosure using revelation of the method where they're telling you, but they chalk it up to art, hoping you don't take it seriously or look too far into it? There's also Mount Olivet Cemetery, which kind of sounds like Mount Olives, Garden of Gethsemane. Capernaum, I'm not sure of, but we know it's adjacent to the Sea of Galilee. So some plausible matches could be Saratoga Springs or Eagle Mountain.